You ever wonder why it feels like the rich are playing a totally different game, like they're on an escalator while the rest of us are stuck on the stairs? Well, it's not just about earning more money. There's this hidden engine at work, a system that doesn't just add to wealth, it multiplies it. Today, we're going to pop the hood on that system and see how it really works. Let's dive in. Okay, this single sentence you're looking at, this is pretty much the secret sauce. It's the blueprint for the entire thing. We're going to unpack every single part of this, the capital, the systems, the behaviors, and yeah, even the policies, to see how they all click together to create this, well, this unstoppable force. All right, so let's get right to the core of it. When it comes down to it, there are basically two ways to make money in this world. Think of it like a fork in the road. On one path, you're trading your time for a paycheck. And on the other, you're making your money work for you. That right there, that single difference, is the fundamental engine behind the whole wealth gap. So what in the world is capital income? Let's break it down. The simplest way to think about it is your money gets a job. Seriously, it starts earning its own paycheck. It's not about how many hours you clock in. It's about owning things, we call them assets, that just grow and spin off cash all by themselves. It's the difference between you pushing a boulder up a hill every single day and owning the hill and charging other people to sled down it. Just look at this comparison. I mean, this really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, labor income. That's like being on a treadmill. You stop running, the treadmill stops. Your income is directly tied to your effort, and there's a limit to how fast you can run. But on the other side, capital income, that's like planting a tree. It grows on its own 24/7, even while you're sleeping. That is the power of compounding, and it's why the gap doesn't just stay the same. It gets bigger and bigger over time. Okay, so if capital versus labor is the engine of the car, what we're about to talk about, these are the turbochargers, the afterburners. These are the, you could say, hidden rules of the game. They're like cheat codes that allow people with capital to just pour gasoline on the fire and accelerate their wealth at a speed that's, well, it's just staggering. I mean, we're talking about stuff like getting into exclusive investment deals the public never sees, or using the bank's money to juice your returns, or playing by a completely different set of tax rules, and of course, owning businesses that scale. Every single one of these is like a power-up in a video game. So let's zoom in on a couple of the big ones, because they are real game changers. So first up is this concept called leverage, and honestly, it's pretty much a financial superpower. It's the art of using other people's money, usually the banks, to control an asset that's way bigger than what you could buy on your own. You know, just like using a simple lever to lift something incredibly heavy. The impact this can have on your returns it's just nuts. And here's the math. This is where the magic happens. Let's say you buy a $100,000 asset, but you only put down 10 grand of your own cash. The rest is borrowed. Now let's say that asset goes up in value by just 10%. That's a $10,000 gain, right? But hang on, you only put in $10,000 to begin with. You just made a 100% return on your money. That's not a typo. That is the mind-bending power of leverage. Okay, and here's another one of those hidden rules that's not so hidden if you know where to look. The text code itself. What you're seeing here is that the system often rewards money made from capital, from investments, way more favorably than money made from labor. The tax rate you pay on long-term investment profits can be significantly lower than the rate you pay on a high salary. It's like a built-in tailwind for people who already own assets. So we've talked about the engine, capital versus labor, and we've talked about the turbochargers, the systemic advantages. But there's still one more crucial piece of the puzzle, and that's the human factor. This isn't just about money and systems. It's also about mindset, about habits, and, yeah, about the head start some people get. And look, we have to be honest here. Getting a head start is a huge deal. An inheritance isn't just a pile of cash. It's a launch pad. It's access to networks. It's a top-tier education without the debt. It's like starting a marathon at mile 13. It's an incredible advantage. But here's the thing, and this is really important. A head start gets you in the race, for sure, but it doesn't guarantee you'll finish first. The real secret sauce, the thing that sustains and compounds wealth over not just years, but generations, it comes down to habits, disciplined, consistent habits. And this is where personal agency really comes into play. So what are these key behaviors? Well, we're talking about things like automating your investments so you don't even have to think about it. It's about playing the long game, thinking in decades, not days. It's having the stomach to not panic sell when the market gets shaky. And it's a commitment to constantly be learning. These aren't just good ideas. They are the behavioral jet fuel that can create incredible wealth over a lifetime. Okay, so after laying all of this out, the engine, the rules, the mindset, the big question is, so what? What do we actually do about it? And the answer isn't simple. It's a two-pronged approach. You have to work on changing this system for the better. Absolutely. But at the exact same time, you have to learn to play the game as it exists right now as effectively as possible. It's not one or the other. It has to be both. So on the one hand, you have systemic change. This is the big picture stuff. Things like debating tax policy, making sure there are strong social safety nets, and ensuring everyone has access to a great education. But on the other hand, you have personal agency. This is about you playing your own game. It's becoming financially savvy, being disciplined with your savings, and making smart, strategic moves. So let's get practical. What can you do starting like tomorrow? Well, here's a 5-point action plan. Number 1, automate your savings. Put 10 to 20% of your income into investments without even thinking about it. 2, build your network. Find a mentor. 3, learn the basics of tax-advantaged accounts. It's not as scary as it sounds. 4, try to start something on the side that isn't tied directly to your hours. And 5, read. A lot. Grab one book on investing and one on how our brains mess with our money decisions. This is a real, tangible starting point. So if we boil this whole thing down, what are the big takeaways? I think there are 3. First, in the long run, owning assets that compound will always be just trading your time for money. Second, the system does have its biases, and it's crucial to understand how those rules work. And third, tackling this gap requires a double-barreled approach, working for systemic change while also taking powerful personal action. Look, it's easy to see all this and think, man, the game is rigged. And yeah, you could argue it is in some ways. But here's the crucial part. You don't have to just play the hand you're dealt. You can learn to play it better. The system has its rules, absolutely. But you have your moves. So the real question to leave you with is, what's your first one going to be?